All right, Sports Inquirer here with Coach Collier. First, talking about the off season. We'll start with the fall. How have the past few weeks of practices been going for the team as you prepare for the season?
Yeah, definitely just very grateful to be back on the court with them. I think there were a couple rough months out there where we had to be apart and just kind of do a lot of stuff on their own. So we're definitely excited about the opportunity to just have everybody back and everybody's healthy. And, Drew Tech's doing a great job keeping us safe and all their measures with safety and all that stuff. It's been really good. So we feel great. It's been awesome. And we're just kind of taking a day at a time.
How has this fall camp been different than previous camps as far as not only the health part of things, but the students, as far as their classes and their schedule, the virtual situation? How's that been different compared to your previous few years at school?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the biggest things was not having, a set date on when we know exactly when we're going to start our schedule, what we're playing. All these things are definitely, it was hard to just kind of plan out. As coaches, we usually tend to be able to plan out the year and the phases and the training. And really, the NCAA took a long time to kind of come up with some parameters on what was going to happen this fall, and then the ACC. And so we were just kind of waiting to see what all those things were going to happen. But I think that our mentality when we were allowed back into the school and on campus and allowed back into training was to just really make the most out of each day. So not really leave anything in the tank, to just kind of, well, but what if this happens or what if this happens? So we didn't play with the what ifs too much. We just kind of prepared as to be the best that we could. If, we had to play tomorrow, we would try to put ourselves in the best situation possible. So it's just been interesting to kind of have to deal with that and not have control. Coaches are usually, used to having control of the situation and dates and planning. And so for us, not having that control, it really was about just staying positive, understanding that this was going to get better eventually. And until then, we just got to do the best that we can with what we have. So.
What about the spring period? We've talked in the past how important that is for you as far as the transition from your graduating seniors to your underclassmen, and you even have some freshmen come in. How was that different this spring? And then even coming into the summer, just the interaction that you're able to have with your returning players?
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge. We returned a lot of players, and this spring was going great. We had a foreign tour planned to go to Brazil as well for more some training and matches during that time. And so we really just had to readapt like everybody else. And, we at first we couldn't do anything with them. So we basically just kind of touched base with them to make sure that they were doing okay, that their family was doing okay. And then eventually the NCAA gave us the green light to do about 8 hours of virtual things with them. So we started investing into a lot of training like that. We watched a lot of matches. We watched all our upcoming opponents from the conference and who they have coming back and what are their strengths and weaknesses, and watch a lot of international games and try to just kind of analyze that, get better at seeing the right things, and hopefully being able to bring some of that back into the gym. And so we worked with a company called The Program, and they do a lot of stuff. They've done stuff with that men's basketball and football, and about team culture and just developing our standards and our core values, and how do we get better as a team, how do our players become more accountable, because a lot of that stuff they were doing on their own, and so that weren't too much guidance from our strength coach or from the coaches, and so they had to become very disciplined, and so we used that time to figure out how do we get better within the situation that we were given. And I was just really, really proud of the way that we did everything. Even my assistant coaches, they had to, learn how to get comfortable talking about volleyball and doing video presentations and things like that. And we all had to learn really fast on how to continue to be a team without that physical contact and that physical interaction. And I definitely think that we did the best that we could with that time, and we kept getting better on the things that we could get better at. And we definitely put ourselves in a better position when we came back to the gym. So just really proud of how we all came together and just kind of embraced it, whatever it was that we were going through, to try to make the most out of it.
And then one more off-court question. The summer is also the active recruiting time for you, especially with the club volleyball season. How was that impacted for you? Was it a different approach? Was it more video and more scouting from that perspective, as you mentioned earlier? Or were you able to actually see some more players maybe on a local level that you could actually drive to as opposed to anything like that?
No, we could not. It was a completely dead period, so we couldn't, be recruiting anywhere besides just in our home, watching some videos, and just some highlights that people send us. But we had, we were working on our 21 and 22 class, and we had already identified a lot of the kids that we wanted to be in contact with, and we just kind of were hoping to have a chance to watch them play a little bit more, and we didn't. And obviously, official visits and all these things were going to be very, very important, and we were not able to provide them with that experience. So we basically just kind of kept in touch, did a lot of Zoom calls and video calls with their families, with our support staff, with our players. Really trying to give them the best picture possible about what is it like to be a part of our program without them really being physically here. We're definitely really excited about just our future classes and about where we are with our program and the direction that we're going. So we just kind of approach it as if this is what we got, let's do the most that we can with what we got. And we just kind of stayed positive and try to get better. That way, identify some kids through videos, watch, go through our emails and just kind of shape up some things, revisit some things, really just use the time to slow it down a little bit and get better on some of the things, and then really be ready to go when we have an opportunity to get off campus again. But until then, we try to focus a lot on our current team as well and the things that they had going on and how to keep us moving forward.
How beneficial was it last season to go through? We've spoken about not making the NCAA tournament and the disappointment in that, but then able to recover, rebound, and win a national championship, especially on an opposing court. And a lot of those players are back for you this year. How beneficial was that for them to go through that as you prepare for the 2020 year?
Winning a championship is not easy at any level in any circumstances. So we definitely are very proud of what we were able to accomplish. We were one of the few teams in the country that finished the season on a win. So it definitely helped us carry momentum over to the spring. And I think that it speaks a little bit about our culture and how we deal with things and how do we deal with adversity and things like that. And it's not much different than what we're dealing with right now. We're focused on the things that we can control, the things that we do have, and we try to make the most out of that. And we definitely feel like we did that. We had a mission. We wanted to win that championship. We felt like we were playing very good volleyball. We were one of the best teams in the country that were playing at the time. And so, we competed at a level that we were playing at, and it was great. I mean, South Dakota had a great environment. It was a great experience for our team to be able to win that match in their court. It was awesome. And so I think that our players learned a lot from it, and we definitely created some memories and some lifelong moments together that are going to be really special. And, we're going to hopefully keep building off of that.
You're heading into year 7, I believe. I think technically is your 7th campaign. Just talk about your experiences and what's been the biggest thing that you've been happy with as far as from when you started the program to where it is now. We talked about facilities, the athleticism of the team. What are some hallmarks that you've seen that the team's improved on a lot of in your tenure?
I think we improved in everything. I really think that our program has grown tremendously. Um, but it started with the kids that were here when I first got here, and I was so lucky to have a great group of kids that really bought in and trusted and believed in the things that I was doing. And our staff evolved through the years, and I've been very lucky to have had great assistant coaches come through my program and help me continue to move forward with the vision of what I wanted to build. And so, I think that it's been really, really fun. I think that our program is at a great level right now. I feel like I'm very excited to just get back on the court, compete again, and keep growing. I think that we're talking to some high-level recruits. We just had a $5 million gift donated to us to redo our O'Keefe pretty much and revamp it and make it even better than what already is. I believe over the last 4 years, we were second in the ACC in home, in home wins and in our records at home. And so we love O'Keefe. We think that this facility is going to give us even higher chances of continuing to do things at a very high level. It's going to be very performance oriented, really trying to give our players the best that we can for them to be the best that they can on and off the court. So I'm really excited about that project and to get that going. And very grateful for the Zelnacs who are our donors to really trust the things that we're doing and, believe that really it was worth the investment, and our players for working hard on and off the court and being great representatives of our program. And so just very, very proud of every little step along the way that I've had to take, and really very proud of how we did it too. Not only the things that we did, but how we have done it. I felt like we treated our players with a lot of love and respect, and we pushed them to be their best, and we created an environment that it's a positive environment. It's happy, it's exciting, but at the same time, it's very competitive and with high standards. And so, I think that it's a fun part to be a part of our program, and we're just excited to keep raising the bar.
And then lastly, you mentioned getting back on the court. How do you prepare for a season when you don't have an official first regular season matchup? How do you avoid the team? How do you avoid the monotony and finding new training methods and things like that? You know you're going to play in the fall at some point, but you don't know when and where yet. How do you get the team and keep them motivated? Because I'm sure they're been in the middle of a lot of drills and core conditioning right now.
Yeah, I mean, our job is just to get better, and I think that being away from volleyball, being away from our training environment, really showed us how much we miss our family, our volleyball family here. I mean, it's an awesome environment. We missed our kids a lot, and just being able to have them back on the court. And I know they missed us too, and I know they missed the gym and the training and everything that comes around with just being a part of our program. And so we're just grateful that we're able to be on that court doing what we love to do, And so I think that, yes, having a date and having all those goals are important, but at the same time, we just got to really embrace every opportunity that we do get to get better, to play with each other, to enjoy just being in our environments. So it was challenging, but not that challenging. I felt like our players were definitely very excited to be back, and they understand the value of this opportunity, and they're grateful for just each little day we get to get after it. I know the ACC came out with the schedule, so hopefully that will be out to you soon. I don't want to talk too much without really being released, but we do have a set date scheduled already. Yesterday we kind of narrowed it down, so we got some goals and some matches coming up that we're excited for. And then again, it's one day at a time. We don't know what tomorrow holds, but we're just going to kind of, make the most out of today and keep getting better.
All right, Coach.